Name an animal you wouldn't mind getting swallowed by.
A whale.
Kangaroo.
A lion.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Dude,
I had the worst answer.
SHAH-AMEER,
You
just
have no
because there's
sensitivity.
that much room inside the stomach does not mean that you're going to be able to get in there with that much ease.
Yeah, that was my bad mentality. But you actually picked a good answer. A whale.
Was it a good answer?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to...
There's so much room there.
Yeah,
No.
but I'm going to die. I'm gonna,
You're not gonna die. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm
That's
gonna
why I
be
didn't pick a
in
whale.
in the whale, and I'm going to be alive in his stomach.
Yep.
And then feel the death.
Like Pinocchio.
No, you can like start a
That's
new
Pinocchio,
home.
right?
I should start.
Start a new home, you know.
But you have to, now you're living inside of a whale.
Right.
Think about my story. The coolest ever.
Yeah, eaten
He
by a
got
lion.
eaten by a lion.
That's not cool.
You got eaten by a kangaroo? I'd be like, boy, you should have boxed that kangaroo.
Yeah, they're strong as
You know
hell.
that? You know that video of the guy who like punches the kangaroo in the face?
Because it kicked his dog or something.
It's such a cool video.
Yeah.
Like the kangaroo squared up. Like that's so fire.
They're actually hella muscular, so. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shimmer.
I'm FARAS.
My name is Amber.
This is brought to you by Alif Theory. You can find us on all streaming platforms and SoundCloud, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher,
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. I always forget that one, but that's where we have a lot of listeners there.
That's our most.
Yeah, that's our most.
75%.
And then we're also on YouTube, visual aspect, if you want to see our beautiful... You want to see our beautiful faces right here in the sunny room on a nice couch. We don't have a sign, but we will get a sign eventually. And
Amber, go control your kids.
I'm so sorry.
yeah, we're also on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and yeah, at Strange Flavors. And if you want to email us, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. At Strange Flavors everywhere. And if you have a music producer, or you produce music or sing or have a band or a rapper, make country music, you can send all of your music to strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com, and we will.
You send your friends music too. That'd be cool.
That's the biggest honor you could give
Yeah.
a friend who makes music. Is
Yeah.
like, yo, I sent your music to this podcast, and
Yeah.
they're featuring it on
Yeah.
their next episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll feature it on an episode if you enjoy it. Did you do that that which Disney character thing are you? You know how there's a lot of those on Instagram?
Yeah, like it's a filter and it goes on top of their head and
Yeah.
it randomly like
It's
filters
like
through.
what is my 2020 gonna be like?
Yeah.
What is it?
I did
There's
that
all
one.
this- Oh yeah.
I got poor and sad. 2 in a row.
That's like 2019, 2020 back to back.
Yeah,
Poor and sad.
unfortunately.
What'd you do for the Disney one?
I didn't do the Disney one.
Okay.
I'm scared to what I'll get, so I'll
You'll
be
probably-
disappointed.
You'll probably get like you'll probably get like something from A Bug's Life. Like one of the grasshoppers or something.
Yeah.
Actually, the grasshoppers were cool. They were evil. It was like a grasshopper army, I think.
Yeah, something like
It
that.
was evil. I got Scar.
That's sick.
I was very excited
Accurate.
about that. People don't like getting. I saw a few people get Scar and they weren't excited about it.
Because they want to be like, I'm sure like most girls were like, oh, I want to be a princess or something.
People-
like, guys don't care, right?
People are dumb, bro.
What?
I've told you guys multiple times. Scar is an alpha lion
Oh my god.
because of his physical traits and how it goes in the jungle. But people don't want to like listen.
Well, in also a technical aspect, natural aspect, he killed the king. So that's what alphas
What does that make
do.
him?
And,
What does that make him?
the king.
The king.
Yeah.
Also, black brunettes over blondes. And that's a direct shot at Shimmer because he's got the blonde hair going on right now.
Before I would agree with you, but
Why'd
No,
you go
I
with the
don't.
blonde hair? Back to the blonde hair.
Yeah.
I was trying to do white, and it was white for like one day, and then it went blonde.
Why don't you put like purple, like this? Make it silver.
That's what it was for one day, and it went blonde. So
Light pink.
maybe I'm not Amber. No.
No, but tell the people why the blonde hair. A nice big reveal again. You always reveal the hair.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. It's like cool.
It's content.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Is it? Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know.
I personally like the blonde hair on you. Actually.
Yeah, I think
It's a good
it. When I first got it, I think it like really matched my personality then. Probably not as much now.
No, it does.
But
I think
it doesn't.
people still remember you with the blonde hair.
yeah. They're like, oh my god.
My brother remembers you with the blonde hair.
And I think on like a marketing aspect, it's great for us.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have.
Well, it's great because one, it's like, you know, it stands out.
Yeah.
But two, like I keep changing my hair so often. They're like, who is this new person?
Yeah.
So,
I think that after I saw you with the blonde last time and then it was just black, I don't know why. You just looked from like a kid that was trying too hard to such a wholesome boy. So I prefer not just the all black, but like sometimes you dye it brown, right?
that was like a while back, but yeah.
That was my favorite hair. Was when you had it brown and curly and long.
True.
Only at the top though.
He's like, I worked so hard for this.
I mean,
Making
it
fun of
looks
it.
great, but it's also yellow. But we'll work on it.
What do you mean
guys.
we'll work on it? I like it. We'll work on it.
She
Remember,
says
you
we.
work on your hair.
Wait, you
Yeah,
like
she was
where
just
it's at right
complaining
now?
earlier that she doesn't like when people tell her that every time she straightens it,
Yeah.
like to keep it straight. She's like,
Yeah.
no, I like my natural.
Yeah.
Well, no, I
curls."
just don't like the same people who tell me that they like my curly hair, and then when they see it straight after a long time, they just see something different on me. They're like, oh, I think I really like this. Like, you should do this more often.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Why am I damaging my hair? But no, I was saying that we can work on it because you said that you wanted white.
Yeah, but I'm just like too lazy.
Okay, all right.
Guys, we're on our 98th episode.
That's crazy.
Wild.
That's
So exciting. Clearly you guys are not excited.
Yay.
I want to like, yeah, let's go.
okay. Look at us.
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
98 episodes.
Well,
Yo,
I know that
that's
at home or in the
wild.
car or wherever people are listening, they're going wild right now.
Yeah, they like
They're
can't even
cheering us
drive. They're like
They're swerving.
They're
swerving.
shaking.
They're like, oh my
They just
god.
hit something. But you should be excited because on our 100th episode, we will be doing a giveaway.
No way. What's the
And-
giveaway?
So if you're listening right now, you can actually head to our Instagram page at Strange Flavors, and we have a few pictures of some products, Strange Flavors merch that you can win for free. Just select whatever you want and tag 3 of your friends, and you can tag as many as you'd like. You can enter multiple times by tagging different friends, and that way you will win something, and we'll announce the winner on our 100th episode.
Yeah, and
as a way.
we're selecting at random.
Yep.
Yep.
No, as
What we prefer.
the best looking,
Best looking people you tag.
the worst looking.
The best tags.
No, it's gonna be
Also,
random.
don't tag like big pages. Tag like your
Oh,
friends.
that doesn't count. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm literally gonna delete you if you try to
Yeah.
tag like at.
World Star.
Yeah, last time people were like tagging like big pages. I'm like, bro, that's not gonna help you
No,
out.
tag your friends.
Yeah, tag your friends.
I'll tag for it too.
Yeah.
I don't mind. But yeah, that's a way of us saying, thank you back to
Unless your
all of our
friend is a
listeners.
big page.
Yeah.
True.
Then please tag.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and if you want to get any of our merch, including the Alif Theory merch, you can always head over to aliftheory.com/shop. That is linked in the bio. If you want custom-made designs that benefit different things, that's linked in the description again. aliftheory.com/shop.
I just want to mention that these giveaway items are like things that not many people have. It's not like we've sold these in bulk, so whatever you're getting is very unique, and so go try to get it.
Exclusivo.
It's
Flash one of those coasters right there.
Oh, hello.
Gang.
If you're
Watch on
on-
YouTube. Switch over from audio to visual.
While you're
And-
driving?
Yeah, while you're driving. And
So
here's
like
a-
that design on like pillows and different things, shirts, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and
really
you'll be
cool.
able to see the different designs on Instagram, so go ahead, go over there, check it out, and tag yo friends. And also share it on your story, just because.
Amber, what did you get by the way for that Disney thing when you when you like on Instagram when you do like
The
which
random
Disney,
Disney.
character are you? What'd you
Okay,
get?
I got Belle, but I wanted Pumbaa.
Didn't you get Dory?
Yeah. I thought
Oh
you
wait,
got
I got Dory too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that like matches me really well. You know?
Yeah, like just dumb.
Forgets
No,
everything.
like, just like short attention span, has an overall goal but keeps forgetting it. Just kind of lost. Me. And
Dang.
cute. Don't forget cute.
And you know how like Dory always like remembers like the P. Sherman, whatever.
Yeah.
That's like Amber shouting out Kashmir every like 5 minutes.
Or chicken nuggets.
Yo, I didn't know it was Ellen for like 10 years.
Wait, what?
I knew right away.
Yeah.
Like, I was a kid.
She's
I
been
didn't know who,
trying
like,
to
Ellen.
get Finding Dory off the ground for so long.
I didn't watch Ellen like when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but I knew of Ellen and I knew that she was like this cool person. So then I knew that like actually we were in Disney World and they showed us there like Ellen voicing Dory. Yeah, that's how I found out. I know Amber, you didn't want to talk about this, but I want to talk about it. Like everywhere you're seeing on social media and stuff, you're seeing World War III.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so like
Okay, but
weird
but they're not saying it in a serious way.
No, they are.
I mean, they
But
are. But then
we were talking about like desensitization last time.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the peak.
This is the peak.
People casually throwing
get
around
worse than
World
this.
War III and memeing it.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, like, I laughed at some of them, and I feel bad at laughing at some of them, but like, people are funny.
I mean, with things like this, I get it. I get the meme stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really think it's like that funny. I think that it's like more so just ridiculous, especially like the cause of it all.
Yeah.
And
See, that's the problem that's why I didn't want to talk about it. It's just that there's just so much.
there's a lot to unpack, but I kind of want to take it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I know that, but I just think that like it's so weird and like our president is tweeting out his ideas and is like one of the weirdest things I find is like him flexing how much money he's spent on the military.
Yeah.
Right? Like for the longest time, I've always thought it's completely ridiculous that like America is into flexing the amount of money we spend on military because we love to talk about the things that we don't have. We don't have clean water. We don't have, so many different things, homeless vets and this and that. And frankly, issues that, don't affect us sitting in this room. A lot of people that are listening we're all privileged, right? So it doesn't really matter to us, but I know that it matters to a lot of other people,
For sure.
including his supporters, right? Like a lot of his supporters are like white redneck people who like don't have jobs that are being taken by robots and like that are that are being affected by things like not clean water and like
maybe not
messed
maybe
up
not
infrastructures
rednecks, but
a
individuals.
lot of rednecks.
I know
A lot of rednecks.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's people who had like labor work,
Low income white trash.
frost.
Yes.
But there's a lot more than the low income.
I know,
trash.
but what I'm telling you is that population is like, oh, army, this and that, like support our vets, this, but like, bro, he's saying like, oh, we spent $2 trillion on military.
Jeez, that's a big number.
I'm going to put in quotation 2 trillion. Like, that's a funny number, bro.
Right.
You can't fix homeless vets with that? Are you serious?
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think that the idea of we spent this much money
Flexing
on that,
money and weapons.
and on that while these problems exist and like people that are against spending money and that are complaining about tax dollars, this and that, again, like it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't really affect us like on that note. Like I don't have military members in my family like that or anything like but do I care about people that are suffering? Yeah. Do I wish that those problems would go away? Yeah, but I know that they can go away.
I
and
just
I know
think
that
that
it's
like on an intellectual basis, I think war and like countries fighting is just so interesting to me because it's the idea of very few people having disagreements and large numbers of people who are uninvolved getting hurt.
that's easy to say, right? Like it's easy to say we shouldn't have war. We shouldn't fight, right?
No, I know that's a very naive stance to take.
No, but it's important to understand that military is important for defense.
For sure.
For defending, right? And principle and ethics of a lot of things, even if you take religion into account, a lot of basis of war and fighting is like defend. But what has happened here in the Iran case is like it's like me telling you that, okay, I thought that SHAH-AMEER was gonna punch me, so I punched him first.
Right.
That's not
Yeah.
that's not defending.
That's not defending.
That's
No,
not defending,
no.
and that's exactly what happened here. And by the way, if you look at the history of the way that America has been involved in war, they lied to us about Vietnam. They lied to us about Iraq, and if you think that they're telling us the truth about what's going on in Iran, you're dumb, bro.
Yeah.
That's
for
all.
sure.
That's all I wanted to say about this. And just to like, okay, like
Just
memes
just
are
know
gonna
that
happen.
even locally, like we haven't trusted anything that Trump said. On average, what he like lies 13 times a day or something.
Yeah.
So like,
It's not-
why should we believe?
It's not a Trump thing though.
I understand.
It's
Yeah.
the Clintons. It's Barack Obama.
I know it goes deeper.
Like, I'm just talking about America in general. The way that like it's stupid that we think that it's cool to flash that this is how much we're spending on. He spends millions of dollars on military parades. Millions of dollars can literally save so much. Like, even if you think about, for example, what's going on in Australia.
I mean,
right
he
now,
could
right?
take a
That
couple
wildfire.
less golf trips and save a lot of money too. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, like money. There, people don't understand that money. Like the government has an endless supply of money.
Right.
That if you think that you need money to fix what's going on in America, we don't have it because we're in debt or something.
No.
Like you don't know what's going on.
Right.
We have all the money to fix all of these things. We would just rather spend it on keeping other people down so that we stay up. And like imagine what we could do with civilization, advancement, technology, and like just so much overall. And I was saying the example of like Australia and what's going on with the wildfires. Like if we really cared about what's going to happen to our future, we know that the whole world needs to be in unison for us to live past a certain year. We're in 2020 right now, but we don't know what it's going to be like in 2030 and 40 and on. So like Australia is going to affect the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
The wildfires that are going there in California, everything that's happening on an environmental basis is going to affect all of us. And it does
sure.
affect all of us. And it has affected all of us.
Yeah.
Even looking back at like, bringing a war back into it, what America did to Japan, people are still suffering with what happened in Hiroshima and still like all of that. Even our last guest was talking about that, like how there's areas that you're not supposed to go to, and there's like, just think about like what we've done, but now looking at it, like what we could prevent. And if you want to spend $2 trillion on war and making the world a worse place to live, and what does war do? It increases poverty, it increases or it like worsens the environment. Like there's so much to it. There's people that lose so much, and not just like, I'm thinking about also the people that are going to war from America. Those people don't find the memes funny.
Right.
The people that like are about to have a family member
Also,
or friend
I just think that
go there.
we have the luxury of making those memes. Meanwhile, people in Iran are
It's just
are
privilege.
actually worried.
We're so privileged, right? Like
We're over
again,
here
like
like,
it's
oh, yeah.
sometimes it's funny, but I just think that the overall idea of like what we believe in as our and like the things that people cheer on, war.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
It's whack. Okay, I want to introduce today's guest because this is extremely exciting and probably one of the
Most unique guests we've ever had.
yeah, but also one of the questions at the end when we asked their flavor. One of those that I've been anticipating. So this will be fun. The stranger today is a celebrity chef who has built a unique brand for himself. He has an inspiring come-up story and a beautiful take on culture. So we're very excited for you to hear this one. Everybody, please welcome Pan Papi.
Well, I used to, do a little bit of music, so I learned the sound of my voice. It wasn't what I expected it to sound like when I rap, but it is what it is.
No, Pan Papi. Is that
OPP,
is that where that comes
me?
from?
One Pan Papi?
Like, is that your
Rap name?
Rap name?
Nah, One Pan
should
Papi
be.
case. I started with one pan, and then one pan
What?
grew into a whole thing.
A humble beginning.
It really was.
What about the poppy part?
the Papi? Hey. Hey.
Humble. No, what's the song you have? Pretentious and humble.
Yeah.
That's like that.
Yeah.
One Pan Papi, like humble, but yo,
pretentious.
we could really get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got to be humble, but you also got to stunt.
Yeah.
Can you hold it up just a little bit higher?
Yeah, I'm better now?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
When you walked in here into the house,
Yeah.
you were smelling some things.
Yeah.
You're a chef.
Yeah.
I want to test you real quick.
All right.
Let's see if you can guess what was being cooked. And
It's-
Amber's gonna confirm this. Do you know what was being cooked?
Yeah.
Amber doesn't know this. I'll tell-
I have no idea. Oh, you know
Let's-
what's being cooked? But I can't smell. You know that.
Well, let's just see what he says. What do
Well,
you
I
think? What do you think is going on?
a little bit of cinnamon, I think, some gram masala, I think I also smell probably a little bit of curry, maybe a little bit of turmeric.
That's so safe. That's so safe, right?
I mean, no, I mean,
But he's probably right.
That's like me
safe.
walking into like a Mexican house and be like, yeah, I smell some
Taco.
tacos.
Was I right or wrong though?
Yeah,
Was
just
I
kidding,
right or
just
wrong?
kidding.
Points
No,
on the board or not?
We do put that in everything,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's
Yeah.
not wrong.
But what I was actually smelling cooking, I couldn't tell if it was like beef or chicken, but it's definitely sounded like a protein. But I only got like a quick smell. I was trying to go into the kitchen, but they rushed me upstairs.
See, he said it's a protein, so he knows that it's not Indian, for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like because we put
Like
meat in everything.
vegetarian?
Yeah.
Vegetarian. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
Check mark.
Was he right?
Yeah. I mean,
Check mark,
I would
yeah.
say he has it.
Yeah.
I would give it to him.
No, that was pretty impressive.
That's
He
a
said
good one.
masala.
Yeah.
Give me my points. Give me my points, my boy.
I give you the point.
He
Check
said
mark, check
masala.
mark, check mark.
Like, I think he just wants on.
But also, like, we're always impressed with anything. Like, someone says anything. As soon as he said garam masala, I saw your face. You're like, no, but that's cool.
So what was being cooked? You know what I'm saying?
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
it's
probably
probably
something like
gosht.
Meat.
Meat.
Yeah.
with everything that you
That
said
you
in
said
it, probably.
in it, yeah.
Yeah. So then, yeah, One Pan Papi. When did you come up with that name?
Oh, the name came up about a year, 2 years ago. It was like a nickname kind of thrown at me. I used to start off on Snapchat. I was cooking everything in a black iron cast skillet, whole dinners. So just cook everything, put it in the pan, put it in the oven.
Is this the very beginning?
The
or
very, very beginning of like me really starting to cook.
to cook?
So my cooking process just came a part of my period when I was like pretty depressed in life. I didn't really know where I wanted to go. So cooking, I think, is one of the greatest forms of self-love that you can have. And if you start caring about what you put in your body, you're going to care about just how you move in life. And with that, it continued to grow and continue to grow into this process. So it started just with me just cooking at home by myself. And I'm just sticking chicken in the pan, you know, some potatoes, some vegetables, and it just started getting slower and slower popping. And people calling me One Pan Papi. It's like, yeah.
That's awesome. Mostly, I feel like when people are really depressed, they will eat a lot of junk food, and that's their way of coping with it. And
did the opposite.
you did the opposite. You went for like the healthy route.
So I was eating junk food, sugar, fast food, just anything I can get my hand on. And what I realized, I was spending a lot of money, and that was actually making me more depressed than anything. Which is like, you just come home, spend $8, $15 on some fast food, some fried food. You don't really care for it. You don't really eat it. Then you're reheating it in the morning. It was just a horrible way to really be living your
Ew,
life.
reheated fast food.
Oh, man, that's
Burgers
terrible.
with the.
It's not the way. It's not the
Yeah.
way.
So you were like, I can make something better with the same $8.
Well, I could save my money first. I don't know if I can make it better, but I can save my money.
Sure.
And then, you know, you can buy things at bulk at the grocery store.
You know, sometimes like I'll take chatpata, which is like ramen noodles, and I'll put like some vegetables, some like eggs in there, and it tastes good.
Right, right.
So you can get creative with that stuff. I saw Kylie Jenner doing it, and I was like, man, now it's gonna be a thing.
That's your
oh, it's,
inspiration.
it's been a thing.
No,
Oh, you did it before?
I did it before,
Okay.
and then I saw Kylie on Twitter was like putting egg in ramen,
Yeah.
and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, a creative genius!" I'm like, "Damn, bro, you ruined everything for me."
Most brown people don't just cook ramen and then they're like, okay, like Maggi noodles, they can't just cook noodles and then just eat it. You got to add a little something, even onion.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Green onions
ours
on
comes
there.
with like the
A
little
little something goes
the
a
little
long way.
salt packets, not salt, but like spice packets, and it's never enough.
Yeah.
You need like 2 of them. So then sometimes I'll take a packet from another one, and then my brother will be like, "Where's
Where'd
the?"
it go?
Yeah.
Or you can just add more from the cabinet.
Yeah, it's true. Some hot sauce. So okay, so you're depressed, you're going through this, and as much as you can give us, like, you know, what comes after that up to, you know, you being this superstar
Consistency.
chef.
So it was just really just consistency. So me.
But
just
did you
keep-
know like that? Oh, this
This is
is
what you
this is
wanna do?
going to be my calling.
Hell nah. It was really, had a completely different job. I had a completely different like life path that I was trying to go on. We just kept eating. I just kept cooking, and that came into friends like, hey, let me come over and eat with you. All right, cool. So we did that, and I really started to see people starting to look at me like a chef and started asking me advice about food. And I was like, yeah, I know how to cook. I can teach you how to make this. So I started giving recipes out. It went from Snapchat to Instagram, and for a while it just was a regular Instagram, and finally changed my name on Instagram to One Pan Papi. And then from there, we really decided, yo, let's really start cooking. We really started taking pictures better. We really decided that we wanted to go this route. We decided we weren't going to start selling plates. We were going to put ourselves at this level because it's the level that
You're
we
saying
wanted to
we a
start.
lot. Was it you and other people, or you're just talking about like?
Well, it was a lot of me to begin with, but everything I do, I get a lot of love from a lot of people.
Okay.
I talk to a lot of my friends. Everything's never just me. So it's always like, I'm taking advice from here. So I feel it just would be inappropriate to say me. This was all me, because it's not.
So you felt like you were building some sort of like a community type
Empire.
of movement.
Yeah, a platform. I was building a platform, but something we've always wanted to build was a platform to give something everyone an ability to express themselves. There's a thing that I like: food, art, media. I like fashion. I like philanthropy. All these different aspects. But food is the centerpiece to everything that be going on, because food allows you to start talking. We came into this conversation with like some great conversation about food, yes, about seasons and stuff like that. It just opens you up, and you can go from there.
And like, did you feel like did it kind of like boost your ego a little bit as well when you were coming out of the depressed stage? Because when you cook for somebody, I feel like it's a very intimate thing. So did that help you overcome that aspect that you were going through before?
I think one of the greatest ways to get out of depression is self-love, and then from self-love you'll start to show love. And in that process of showing love, I think cooking is one of the best ways you can show love. You open up your home, you're really giving your heart to someone every time you cook, especially if you're cooking for real. You're really seasoning it up, you're doing a little bit like this. You tell me, I'm from this area, so I'm not going to cook it how I normally do it this way. I'm going to do it a little bit this way, because I know you're going to like it a little bit better that way.
Oh, and then you can connect with people's cultures and things like that.
I always ask everyone where they're from and where is going. I can cook a steak 1,000 different ways. Everyone can cook a thing 1,000 different ways. I like to cook it your way.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Do you look online for like inspirations on how to like increase the way you cook something?
Of course. I'm always looking at different ways, but the cultures that I came from and the cultures that I've met have really more so influenced it. So I grew up like in a Jamaican commune. So a lot of Montserrat, Antiguans, and Jamaicans influenced my style. A lot of island flavors. One of my first girlfriends was Puerto Rican, so that's where I learned ceviche from. That's where I learned a lot about mofongo, just a lot of Latin flavors from there. And then moving on, my mother's from Louisiana, so that's heavily influences everything. That's Creole, that's Cajun, that's French, that's Native American, all those flavors made together. And then my father worked at restaurants for a while he was going to law school.
That's perfect. I noticed he said girlfriends. You must have pulled a lot of girls.
You must feed a lot of women.
That has to be the most romantic thing, right? Like cooking for people.
Oh my gosh, he posts memes all the times on his story. He's like, he'll like cross out things that like talk about for girls, but he'll cross them out and be like, feed your girl. It'll be like, take care of your girl. He'll be like, feed her.
Hashtag keep her fed 2020.
Hey.
We're going.
Wait, why only 2020? Why not before?
Because I'm
That's
trying to go
his
for
mission.
election. Elect me. I'm going for president. Papi for
That's his
president.
mission this year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But do you, like, on a serious note, do you feel, like a more sort of romantic thing when you're doing it for girls, and do they feel
So the irony
an
is
expectation?
that I really never really cook for most of my girlfriends.
Really?
Wow.
Wait, is that fear? Is that
They already
just-
could cook, and I'm humble, and I just don't say anything. So
Oh.
you just
I
eat
like
Are
the
you
food.
ever eating their meals and you're like, I know how to make this better?
All the time.
I will not say that.
Yeah.
On record.
That's cool of you, though.
Yeah, that's really
You know,
cool.
That,
so you just let
that
them
you're
do
not like,
them.
hey, I can cook this.
Why don't you guys like cook together though?
I will. So
Okay.
if she wants to do, a lot of time women will let me do the protein. So like if it's a steak or something like that, I'll do that, and they'll do all the
Okay.
sides.
That's cool.
Or she's just cooking, like I'll come in the kitchen, help out. Main thing I do is always warm the plates up. That's how I was taught to set the table.
She goes to wash her hands. She's like, put some spices in it. He's like,
Well,
He has
she
a
has her
secret
back
pocket.
turned.
Yeah,
hey,
but she's
this
not
is so
looking.
good. What did you do?
She's not looking. So,
He's like
we'll
Remy
saute.
from Ratatouille. Do you love that movie?
It was a great movie.
I'm thinking of other ones that are like, I feel like chef or just cooking movies in general are always good. Like there's that one. There's the food truck one.
Spanglish is actually my favorite.
Spanglish.
It's
Something like a
Adam
while back.
Sandler.
It's an old one.
It's
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, Paz Vega. He was a chef in his life. It's more so about his life than about the food, but it mixes two together because food is his passion and his love. But him and his wife is just growing out of love, and then him and this other woman come into this house together and they have this great understanding and this great love of each other without ever acting on that love, which I thought was like beautiful.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
there's always that aspect
Yeah.
of connecting people. There was this one, it was based off a true story of like this Indian family that moves to Paris. It's called 100 Feet something like that, across the street, and they were like, you know, kind of racist towards them, and they were like, why are you in Paris, this and that. And then like the son and the daughter in that family, like they start cooking together and stuff, and they make this like family restaurant, and it's a beautiful story. But there's the food truck one as well, the guy who directed Iron Man.
Oh yeah, that was what I love that one.
That's a really good one.
That's
right?
a good one. I love the relationship
Always
between
like
him and
touching.
his son. Like
Son,
that's
yeah.
great. Like
He
understanding.
made that grilled cheese, and
the
that
Cubano.
was the, what is it?
A Cubano.
Okay, yeah. That was like the best grilled cheese I've ever seen. Anyways,
You can obsess when people keep saying grilled cheese. It's Cubano.
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 Sorry.
Jeez.
It was grilled cheese though. Like it's cheese.
And bread?
Is that
It's like
technically what it's called?
it's like a panini. Like they sear it. So there is cheese on it. There's a ham.
No. So that's what they were making in the truck. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like
Oh,
when he was just in the
yeah.
morning. He
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
hey dad, can I have a grilled cheese? And my man like
He threw it
brings
down
out
real
every
quick.
flavor of cheese, and he's like, it just
Yeah.
looked really good. It was the sound and everything was also like done really well. That's why it sounded good. But yeah, like
how far have you been? How long have you been cooking for, and like making it a thing? So like even the Snapchat days, how long has it been since then?
2015, 2016 is when I
Okay.
kind of like started cooking.
So
But
you
I've
made
been
your
cooking.
name like pretty quickly.
Yeah. I probably did everything that's happened that you're seeing me now. It's probably in the last 5 months. July 15th, for real.
Wow.
and talk about that, like for people that don't know, for example, like you're a celebrity chef now, right? So who are some of the celebrities you've cooked for?
My favorite and the biggest one I always got to put on is Portia Williams. Portia Williams did a lot for me. She decided to really advertise me and push me to this next level. After that, Jadena has been a huge fan and a huge supporter, and every time he's in Atlanta, he always looks out for me.
Okay, so that real quick, that's a good example of like somebody who has an African taste. He's Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
So is that somebody who like you'll try to cook for in their way? Because he's probably used to that type of food.
He's more so open into whatever I'm about to cook.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
He's a really humble guy. He really just likes to explore and live life. Very passionate, awesome guy to talk to about things. But for the most part, he just on his own thing is he don't eat cheese.
Okay.
So,
That's like his one request. He's
That's
like,
his
make
one
whatever
thing.
you want, just don't
No
put
grilled
cheese.
cheese.
No cheese. So other than
Just
that,
not cheese or dairy?
Just not cheese.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Who else?
Vince Vaughn, Lil Mo from out of here to Baltimore.
Vince Vaughn, like the
Actor?
Vince Vaughn, that actor.
Oh wait, I was thinking of Vince McMahon from WWE.
Vince Vaughn, the actor,
Vince
Wedding
Vaughn.
Crashers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
legend.
yeah.
That was the one I was like starstruck about. Like that's
Okay.
the only time I've ever been starstruck by anyone.
And how does that work? I see like DJ Khaled, for example, with his chef, the way that he kind of treats her is like with the utmost respect, and he's always like putting her on. I don't know if he changed or whatever, but like, do you communicate with them a lot?
Or
Are
do
you
they
just
like
kind of
order
like,
you from somewhere or like?
So certain people I have are clients. So those are like easy. So Portia Williams and Jenna, they were like specifically clients. And then I have other people in the city.
Like you
who
do
go-
them on like a weekly basis?
Usually a monthly basis. I usually people go on a retainer, a monthly retainer.
you go to them and cook there, or like how does that work?
It's whatever they really want to prefer. So
Wait, what do you cook for a month? How do you cook
Oh,
for a
wow.
month?
well, it's like
Freezer foods.
freezer food or meal prep or whatever they want to do, if they just want dinners or anything. But the way I look at it is you got to look at it as like a business. So if you set yourself up to sell one plate, that's the only thing you sold. I sell my time and everything I can do for you. So beyond me just cooking for your food, I'm writing your whole flavor profile and everything you do in between it. I'm coming up with a whole new diet. Everyone in your house is going to have their own flavor profile and food. So even when I leave, I can sell you this information. You can keep going and do what you want to do.
Monthly pan papi.
And you care a lot about how it looks too, because I've seen you take a lot of trips to Restaurant Depot, whatever, and get fresh flowers and put them all over the
Yeah.
meal. So what is that? Like you like the presentation? For
Presentation is everything. So for a while, no one was eating my food. It was just promo. It was a good 9 months of just promo work. I was just showing my entire catalog of everything I can cook and everything I can do. And the main thing, since you can't taste it, you have to see it. And people eat with their eyes for the most part. and it's such a visual and also experience.
I was gonna say, I think everybody in our culture just missed over that step.
Yeah.
Our food does not look
good at all. It does not. No.
Can you make our food look better?
It's just not plated well. It looks good. It's just not plated well. You can plate it a little bit different. It'll be
Like curry and stuff like that. Just generally, a lot of people think it looks like a number 2. You know, like
or regurgitation.
Yeah. But I guess if it's plated right, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we don't really know how to like set things up properly.
And most of your food is family style, so that's also different
That's
too.
true.
So a lot of times you'll have your foods in like big bowl here, big bowl here, big bowl here. So when you do throw it onto your plate, it becomes a big.
It's not a delicacy.
Yeah, it becomes more of a smorgasbord.
We go to a restaurant, we order like something expensive, and it has like a little flour on it or something. My parents would freak out. They'd be like, "What is this? We need food." Yeah,
that's
we do
because
family
that's
style
because they'll
rules.
put like the small little like 3-piece whatever, and all of us are about like, yeah, let's eat. Like,
Yeah, it's go time.
Yeah.
So
When somebody hires you, like, are they specifically hiring you for like flavor, but also like them to get better nutrition from their day, or do they just like want better food?
usually better food, consistent. If they want to go to the diet route, we can always do that. I have a nutritionist on team. We can get your blood work done, and we can talk making a real diet and a real process to move forward. Also have fitness experts on my team, and I can link that all together if you really want to have like that experience. If you just want to eat better food, or let's say more flavorful food, we can do that too.
Yeah, it absolutely sounds like a service more than like, you know, if I want this food, if I'm craving this, then I'll go to him. So that's really cool that you set it up that way. Who are some of your inspirations when it comes to chefs or anything?
I mean, of course, you have the big one, Gordon Ramsay. Like, I really just love how
He yells at everyone?
Yeah, I like his personality because he's really passionate. And I like the way he yells on people and stuff like that. That's like TV. That's not really going to happen in real life.
He's so sweet to kids, though.
Huh?
He's so sweet to kids.
He is. Because that's how you can tell how he really is. It's like a TV thing. You got to like show your personality. Whatnot.
But is he a good chef?
Yeah, he's a phenomenal chef. Like, he really knows what he's talking about. He really cares.
Because we see mixed things about that, like online. Some people are like, oh, he doesn't actually know what he's doing and stuff, and I don't know what to believe.
Well, the thing about cooking is there's 1,000 ways to cook everything. And that's why I always talk to people about your flavor profiles. So I can cook a lamb the way I want to cook it. It's going to be extremely spicier. It's going to have a lot more flavor, a lot more punch to it. You might not like it. You might just say, oh, that's a little hot. So that's why I talk to you about your flavor profile, and we're going to cook it the way you want. And I can cook it like 4 or 5 different ways out of the ways you just told me how you want it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the biggest thing when it comes to chefs and a lot of cooking is a lot of ego, a lot of like my way is the best way to do it, and it's like that's a way to do it. It's probably a top tier way to do it, but it's still a way to do it.
so then how do you feel about the shows that are critiquing people how to cook?
To me, the biggest thing when it comes about critiquing people how to cook is cooking times. So it's like as long as it's warm, hot, and cooked correctly, that's the only thing I really ever cook over here about. Seasoning, and as long as it's not over seasoning, that's always a problem. But you want to go light on seasoning, I can understand that too, because some people actually just like the flavor of the raw food. Some people don't want all that on it. And it's just things you got to kind of talk to each person.
There has to be a bias, right? Like, especially with the judges. Like, I mean, I would have a bias as far as like what I like. I want it spicy. I want it sweeter, you know, all that. So
when it comes to that, it's almost like I don't know how to put it. I don't know, skateboarding maybe, where you're just looking for the actual technique. It's not really so more about the flair and what you're wearing, which is what we call it as the flavor. It's about the technique. The chicken was cooked crispy on the skin. It's sliced properly. The sauce has a perfect balance. The texture to that is right. And then you'll finally, at the very end, get to the flavor profile. And that's where the bias comes in. But the real part, if you're a proper judge, you're doing it on the merits of the technical side of it.
that actually makes a lot of sense. Is Salt Bay a bluff?
I've heard mixed things about Salt Bay. I have not had a chance to hear that, but I hear he does his own thing, and it's been working well for him.
It's just salt, bro. No, I think it's
the
in
meat
the meat
cutting
right?
technique.
The meat cutting technique, the way he
The
lays
flair.
it down. But then he like pours a lot of that. I guess the meat juice, the butter, the oil is back on it. So I don't know.
And again, with all that, when it comes to cooking, like there's a lot of biases. There's a lot of people who just like, yo, this is the only way to cook a steak. This is the only way to do that. And I'm just like, if it makes them happy, it makes you happy. Like you're happy.
I mean,
And that's
his
kind of how
resume
you
is
started
like,
too, is by having food make you happy.
So the only thing about steaks I'll probably say is I think reverse sear steak is like the only way to properly do a good like filet mignon. So
What is that? What does that
It means you go into the oven first for about like 280 degrees for about 20 minutes, and that'll get you a nice medium rare. And then from there, you get your skillet hot, and you just sear it on there and get the crisp to it. That way, it's cooked perfectly too. And then you butter bath it and everything like that. But I don't like to cook my steak all the way on it because I think it's like burning the food.
Well, speaking about meat, you tend to choose a lot of seafood. Like you
Yeah.
cook, I would say like 70 to 80% of the food you cook is seafood.
Yeah, we're in Baltimore, so I feel like we got to take advantage of that. And second, as a businessman, seafood is the most expensive thing that you can have. So it makes sense to be in that margin. I can master chicken, but then I'm mastering a lower profit margin, and now I got to go for more sales.
I was gonna ask, like, do you cook all price ranges of food? Like,
Yeah, I do.
okay, but you
But-
mostly go for the higher target.
For the higher end. So stuff like for, let's say I'm selling like my Sunday menus. That's the type of thing that's going to be more so like the high end stuff. If you pay for my time as a client, I don't care what you buy because my time is already paid for. You can make your ingredients cost whatever you want.
What's the most expensive like dish you've made per se?
Ooh. We did some wild stuff with some sea bass. So sea bass is an expensive fish. So they wanted sea bass, and they wanted shrimp, scallops, they wanted lobster tail, and they wanted some New York strip. So that was a pretty expensive meal for them. They had a great time, boy, I'll tell you that.
I feel like when I see those videos on like Now This or whatever, or BuzzFeed on YouTube, a lot of that stuff doesn't look good. Like sometimes they'll just take wings and then spray gold on it or something. You know about that?
That 24 karat gold, the
Yeah.
biggest spin that's going on right now.
What are your thoughts about that? Like when you just put
Gold
that,
on.
like gold, what's it
Chicken
called,
wings?
sauce
Yeah.
on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, we live in like the social media world now,
Yeah.
so like now it's a lot of clout or cap, as people like to say. So like that's a just a clout kind of cap thing to do. Just I'll cook some normal stuff and then throw this $50
you
like
do that?
sauce on it. Nah, I don't do 24 karat
Goldfish.
Nah, I don't do that.
That's what I feel like. That's what I was gonna say about Salt Bae. It feels like although his pictures and like his story is incredible of like where he started and all that, he realized it quickly became like a thing that everybody wanted to see and witness, and he capitalized off of it instantly. Where he was like, just off of that video. Remember the first video?
Right.
Yeah.
Off of that, there was like murals painted, and then there's restaurants open. Like I think a few months after that in where was it? Miami and
Isn't there like
and
one in New York or
York,
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
so many.
And
So
across
that's
the
cool.
world too, they have like restaurants in different countries.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's a smart business plan, so I'm sure
for
it's,
sure.
When
it's-
you
it's
find a
good taste
lane, you
for
gotta
somewhere.
take advantage of that situation. I know that making my food look good is my thing that I do. I take really good pictures of my food, so that's all about plating for myself. So even
Yeah.
if I'm serving random people on a paper plate, it's still gonna be plated as properly as possible because that's what you expect from me.
Yeah.
His thing is the salt, and that became his signature thing.
We were talking about bias earlier, so I want to have you, based off of what you know and what you like, rank cultures based off of their food. Just give me like the top 3 or 5 of what you think has the most like
I
vibrant
want the
taste.
bottom too as well.
Yeah,
This is a trouble
Italian.
question. This is
that's for me. Bottom is Italian.
Yeah.
Okay,
Except
no,
pizza.
you go.
Sorry.
Favorite Latin food. Like Latin food is my heart. I love it. It's really because of the versatility of it. So you can get real fancy with Latin food, but I came from a poorer side, so I love street food. And what they can do with street food just is like amazes me. And I just love how it's a really well balanced food. So there's always a protein, there's always a vegetable, and then there's always a grain. It's very simple, but it feeds you properly. And here in America, a lot of times that we have food, it's not a proper meal.
Right.
So a lot of fast food, just fried chicken, and then you just got like fried fries, French fries.
French fries.
There's a word in there. We're just gonna figure it out.
It was like fried fries.
Fried
Maybe he forgot
fries,
there's a
like,
word for that.
it's like,
Changes batteries.
How do
real
you
quick.
fry the fries? But it's
Street
just-
food is often like some of the best,
The
food
best
that
thing. It is.
whenever you travel, it's always whenever we go to Pakistan, that's the first thing we have, although it makes me sick immediately.
Yeah, and I'm sick for like 2 weeks after
because
that.
it's very localized and it's probably been washed in local water and
Yeah,
all
you
that
can't
stuff.
have the water and
Yeah.
the dairy and stuff.
But
So you got Latin.
On top.
Latin, and then I usually have to go straight to Jamaica right after that
Mm.
because I love jerk and I love the spices that come with it. I love islandy. I love the fruit. They cook with a lot of fruit in there. So like mixing some mango or
getting
some
hungry.
papaya, mix a little mango papaya into something like that's just amazing.
The fruits were incredible in
Yeah.
Jamaica. That was good.
Do you
Well,
think?
and the jerk chicken.
Do you think like
I became a fan.
Jamaican restaurants here can make the same jerk sauce over like they do in actual Jamaica?
Most of the Jamaican restaurants out here is like American Jamaican.
Yeah.
So like
Didn't you have a bad experience?
Like I don't like the jerk sauce here, but when
Yeah.
we went to Jamaica, I really liked
it's
it.
like a real jerk
Yeah.
sauce. So like that's the difference. So there's a lot of things. Even when I cook other cultures' food, there's a thing of appropriation that I feel very
Ooh.
uncomfortable about. So I master my lane.
There's appropriation in cooking as well.
Hell yes.
What?
Hell
Huh.
yes.
Is that annoying?
I mean, I think it's disrespectful.
But
Is
on what
it-
level? Like you're supposed to know. I feel like as a chef.
Paying homage to someone's food style is one thing, but then trying to run their whole style is a different
Okay,
thing.
okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
if you were to open up like an Indian restaurant.
It's wild. I should never do that. I could have I may have an Indian dish on there that I really worked really hard on there, and then talk to real Indians about it, and someone from there, you know what I'm saying, someone's
Using
mom,
inspiration rather than like
inspiration, and then if
Got
I'm
it.
really trying to do like a traditional dish from there, I'm not trying to do an Americanized version. I want it to feel like people from there are gonna feel this. So like I need to understand the real routine and the real process of it. And there's a lot of like American just factory lining people's food and stuff like that.
there
which
are
I
people
don't
that do
respect.
that though. Like even
Yeah.
on that there was a popular I think Netflix show that it was like people from all different countries. I forget what it's called. It was really good. They compete for whatever.
yeah.
And like for example, there was actually he did talk about this. There was a guy that had like a Japanese restaurant, I believe. He was a white guy, and he got some flack for it. But at the end of the day, for me personally, if I go in there and for example, if it's like desi food, it's Pakistani food or something, if it tastes like what I want, then I
doesn't matter who's
personally
behind.
wouldn't care. But I see
Yeah.
what you mean because there's a lot of people that would be like, what's this guy running this like?
Yeah, so it's a fine line, and I think you gotta be very careful when you start hopping other people's cultures when you cook their food.
Yep,
Give me
that
a
was-
third.
Okay.
You
Okay.
got Latin, Jamaican.
Let's go Indian.
Let's go,
Yeah.
baby. We made it.
Now I'm curious about what dishes.
My favorite dishes, woman.
Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely going Shana masala off rip every day, all the time.
What
Need
masala?
it.
Chana masala.
Chana masala.
Every time. That and steak is just my happiest thing in the world.
Steak.
Yes, I know it's a little like, see, this is why you get in trouble because
No.
I be doing things off the go. But
He didn't say Pakistani either. He said Indian and then he said steak.
Yeah.
You know what cows mean in India.
Right, you gotta-
I understand the irony of this. I understand the irony of everything I'm saying. But yeah,
That's interesting,
I
though,
break
you
a
know?
lot of rules. I get in a lot of trouble. Little Trinidad hates me right now because I did some things I wasn't supposed to do. I made a double waffle.
What?
Yeah.
like
What's
two
a double?
waffles on top of each other?
No, like you know what a double is? Like the pastries that they made, the turmeric like pastry with the shana masala in it. I made that into a waffle instead, and then put shana masala. And they was upset with me.
I mean, that sounds like
Unique.
fun. Like
It
you're
does.
like you're having fun with the food.
I do, but they get upset when I start breaking rules.
That's funny.
What's bottom two? What's like the food that you just aren't a fan of?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's see who. I don't really.
You're
think
like, I love all food.
There's
I
got to
think
be some
I-
cultures that are bland.
Yeah, and not that you can spice them up. Not that you can spice them up, but like that type of food you would typically steer clear from, like eating it.
I step away from pasta a lot. I don't stay away
See,
from like.
I told you.
yeah.
I told you. I said Italian.
It's
Why is that too many carbs?
it's just boring to
Yeah.
me. It's just like a big bowl of sauce and food and
Pretty
just
sweet.
like yeah. English food. I can't. Yeah, that's a culture that I
like UK or American.
like English American. I'm not English UK food. Like
Same. That was so bland. It was so bad. The funny thing about like going to London or something is that you're never eating like food that is made by English people. You're always eating
Their
food from different
culture,
cultures.
yeah. So I had to
and
think
Indian
about
food
that.
is like one of the most popular things there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just because they have that huge
because it's
influence.
flavor. Because
Yeah.
a lot of their food is extremely bland.
Yeah.
And
Yo, the
Stick to
fish and
tea.
chips. Like it was just.
Wait, actually, I actually like fish and chips.
I mean, it's nice, but like it could have had way more flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
for sure.
it's just.
But you just gotta
You
look
need
at the area.
sauces.
The area is
Yeah.
a cold area. They don't got like a lot of vegetation. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
things to grow out there. So like, how much variety can you have out there? So
For sure.
You make this. You said you don't like pasta, but you make this like salmon pasta. And it looks really good though.
oh yeah, it's one of the signatures. They love that dish.
He
It's
took
like a
something
bunch
he
of-
doesn't like, and he's just like, "Yo, this is how you do it."
Yeah.
Yeah, we kicked a lot of flavor in that. So it's a
I've never
tomato
seen that.
garlic
That's cool.
roasted Alfredo.
That's dope.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So earlier, before we started the podcast, you were spilling your passion out.
Yeah.
You said that this is more to me than, like this goes beyond being a chef. So like, talk about the purpose of this thing to us. Like, why do you do all this? What is the end result you're sort of like, reaching for here?
Me personally, I'm looking for freedom, and when I say freedom, it's like I'm just looking to live my life the way I want without any type of attachments to a title. We live in this world where everyone feels like you gotta be this or that. Like you have to be this perfect husband, you have to be this perfect job, like you gotta be this perfect son or daughter, and it's more than that. Everyone's so more multifaceted than this one thing, this label that they give us to. So the freedom I'm looking for is the freedom to live my life how I want to. I'm going to be a chef these 4 or 5 years, and then maybe I want to go do philanthropy for the next few years. Maybe I want to go become a rapper or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I've set my life up in a way where I'm not have to be in one area, and I don't wait for anything to be my one source of income.
I feel like what you've already achieved is something that a lot of people might be reaching for and dreaming of, which is, I want to be able to cook for celebrities. I want to be making fancy foods and exploring cultures and traveling and making money. So why is that not enough?
I mean, that's a hard question to say why that not enough, because I feel like I'm more than that. If that's what you want in life, no disrespect to that. You know what I'm saying? That's your goal. That's your main heart. That's the thing that you're going for.
Right.
My main goal in life is pretty much to put other people on. It's put this giant platform where everybody can eat. One of my hashtags is always everybody eats B. Everything we do, everyone in my team, we always trying to flip it back so everyone can get some. If you are a fitness person, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to make sure that I reach out to you before I reach out to anyone else. If all I know you do is drive Ubers all day, then I'm going to reach out to you when I need food delivery or if I need a ride or something like that. Like, you keep all your money within your circle, within your friends, and you put them on. And if it's all about making money for them, you do that. But if you have the opportunity to help them grow something passionate, then that's what you really shoot for.
Well, how important is the money, especially at the beginning stages, getting it, trying to earn it in some way, trying to make your mark, and especially for some of the things you want to cook, you need to have the right groceries, and it's expensive to get that stuff. So how do you even start to earn something from this career path?
Well, money is important in the sense if you're trying to achieve something out here. Money is not important to me in the sense of living. I don't need money like that. I can go live in the woods. I can live off the grid. Like, I know how to take care of myself. I can go hunt. So money is not important to me in that type of sense. Money is important if you're trying to live in this world. So in this world, you do need money. So you do got to play by the rules before you can break the rules. So you stack up, you save, you make enough money on the side. I had a nice $10,000 I put to my side before I went to go make all my other moves. But I had my money and my stuff set and my rules of who I was as a person. So I knew at one point I wasn't going to be selling plates. I wanted to be a celebrity chef. That's what I'm going to push for. I'm not going to come out here and start selling plates, because that's what you're going to look at me. You're going to look at me as the guy that sells plates in Baltimore. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to be a private chef. And when I'm heading down to Atlanta, my friend says, let's make you a celebrity private chef. Cool, let's do that. And because of the relationships and the friends
and
I
that,
have.
real quick, that was like a branding thing that you decided, like the celebrity chef thing. Like, I don't want to be cooking this. For example, like fashion. Some people are like, oh, I want to do like high-end fashion versus I want to do like streetwear, something like that. So was that a branding decision, or something that you...
That's a branding decision.
Okay.
Whatever you brand yourself is what people gonna look at you as. So if you decided you are at this level, that's where they're gonna look at it, and then you gotta struggle for every inch you go up. But if you say, I'm here, you are there. Whether they believe it or not, this is what you are, this is what you said. And then when you get the proof to back it, then you're really good. So you do what you gotta do to make the money for it, and then you never sell yourself short. I knew from the beginning I wasn't going to sell plates. No matter how many people asked me, I was not going to sell a plate. I was cooking
What does that term mean
selling plates?
for people that don't know? Yeah.
So selling plates is you'll have people who just sell plates out their house. They'll just sell like $10, $15 plates. And the way I look at that, that's too much hustling and not enough, like, the
Payback.
smart movement, smart business. I'm all about smart business. I'm lazy, just like all of us here. I don't want to work more than I have to. Every time I think is, I want to work for my money. I want my money working already.
Yeah.
So by building a brand, you can sell more than just the food.
Right.
You can sell a whole experience. You can sell a lifestyle from there. But my goal was never, ever, ever to start off selling plates. And I understand people who want to do that. And if you need to do that to get your hustle, do that. I decided to make my money outside of selling plates so that when I get into the food game, that I'd be starting at a certain point. And from that point, we're just going to keep moving forward and going higher than that.
I feel like oftentimes, well, as a chef, one would be like, okay, you're a chef. That means you're going to open a restaurant. That means, you're going to cook for people at that level. You chose to go the private celebrity chef route. Do you ever see yourself owning a restaurant?
Not for a while. So, like, I've worked in a lot of restaurants, and restaurants are very, very shaky businesses. A lot of them fail, like more than 70%.
Oh, wow.
It's a marketing issue, and that's why I've decided I'm just going into the marketing angle first, so that I'm going to have such a high demand for my restaurant. Before I drop it, we can go straight to franchise. I can launch 3 of them at the same time. Right. Instead of just working at one, busting my ass for 4 years, and it being a great first year, then a struggling 2-3 years, and then we finally get back up. It's really hard to keep a business up.
Right.
The food costs, especially if you're in seafood, you're always throwing stuff out. Restaurants are not easy, and I always tell people it's not the thing that you want to get into right away. You need to pay a lot of homage and understand what the restaurant game is, because it's a very fickle industry. It's based on popularity. And then also you got to look at like price. A lot of people want to do your thing maybe like once a year.
Right.
That's not enough to keep your business open.
You're crushing so many dreams. Isn't that part of everybody's like dream? Oh, one day I want to have a restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about it, and it's like somebody who's passionate about the food that you're creating, making sure the flavors are right, this and that. When me and my friends get together, we're like, let's go to a restaurant. Okay, well, everybody likes cheesecake. Everybody can find something at Cheesecake Factory, and then you're getting something standard there. Right. I'm getting a pasta, we're getting whatever it is, a salad. So I guess like the heart that you put into it can really only be from a one-on-one connection, at least for right now.
So yeah, for right now, it's
like you would rather put more heart into it and have like a connection with your clients rather than kind of produce something that's already there.
Basically that, and I just feel like the market's just too thick right now. I'm gonna be spending more money on marketing than I'm gonna spend money on like people just coming to my restaurant. So I'd rather just build it all the way up, do everything off the books, and make the same kind of money, and build up seasonings, cookbooks, this whole brand, clothing, private dinners, set up a network of chefs all around the country, and just keep moving like that.
Is that what you're currently working on? Like, what's next for you?
Currently working on a TV show right now. So we have like a deal that we're trying to work out with Netflix. We have a whole story they're trying to sell on that. Got some friends in Atlanta who are interested in getting some business in the music, so we might be doing some stuff with some music. Real estate, like I'm really more so of a businessman.
Yeah.
So the chefing is amazing, and it's going to be a staple in everything that we move forward. But the next 2-3 years, you're just going to see it expand into a huge umbrella.
Yeah. Wow. We got to wrap this up soon, but I want to know, like, for people that are interested in whether they're pursuing the chef route or sort of more of that, and keeping that business mind, where do you start, and what should your mindset be if somebody is wanting to sort of take the route that you've chosen?
Well, first thing that you need to do is be aware of yourself and what you really want. Okay. So from there, you can figure out where you can compromise at and where you can't compromise at. Second thing you need to do is you need to build your team and your friends, and that's going to be the hardest part, because you're going to want to like reach out to certain people, and the people you want to reach out to aren't the people you need to reach out to. The people who are going to come to you are going to come to you naturally, and you're going to keep reaching out to certain people, and they're not the people you need to be reaching out to. The people who are going to reach out to you are the people that you need. Everyone who wants to really hustle will come to you. From there, you got your team, and you know what you want to do. There you got to make a plan, and you got to make your plan, and you got to stick to your plan, and you got to ignore your feelings. That's the biggest thing people do. People get caught up in their feelings. You feel about this, you feel about that, you feel about this. That's whoop-de-woo. Stick to your plan.
Why you got to fight with me at Cheesecake?
Exactly. You know I love to go there. You know I love to go there.
Yeah, that's dope. Also, real quick, One Pan Papi, aka Munchy Luciano. Where does that come from?
One Pan Papi. One Pan Papi came from, like we said earlier, me cooking out of one pan. Munchy Luciano goes to one of my greatest influences, which is Lucky Luciano, who created the Commission, criminal organization back in the 1920s. The reason why I look up this organization is because they created something outside the pocket. They created something that worked and made sense, and that everyone who was there at that table was their own boss. Yeah, we're working together, but everyone does their own thing. And that's how I keep my business.
Sick.
I don't hire a bunch of people who just want to follow me and want to make money. You got to have your own dream and have your own thing so it inspires you. And you can use this platform that we built to do whatever you want, as long as it stays in our vision statement, which our vision statement is very broad, but as long as you stay in that lane, you're cool to do whatever you want.
Starting a gangsta chef lane.
Right.
The wave is gangsta chefs now. Munchy Luciano. Where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at One Pan Papi, ONEPANPAPI. You can go to the website, onepanpapi.com, and then you can find me on all other social medias with the One Pan Papi. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and I don't know, whatever else is cool.
We'll link it all in the description.
Yeah.
All right. And the part I'm most excited for, we got a chef this time to do this.
This is
At the end
crazy.
of every podcast, we ask every stranger the same question. And SHAH-AMEER, if you could take that away.
If you could describe yourself in any flavor, what flavor would it be and why?
I'm like a lemon cayenne. So, you know,
A what?
it's lemon cayenne.
Lemon cayenne.
Lemon cayenne. So, you know, there's some citrus to it, you know what I'm saying? And there's some spice to it. And this is because I feel like, you know, I'm flavorful, I'm bright, you know what I'm saying? There's a little punch to it.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That was exactly what I would expect from a chef. Well, One Pan Papi, thank you so much for being here on the podcast. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you. And we hope that the listeners learned a lot from this. I know we definitely are inspired
Thank you
by
for
your
having me.
amazing story, and we'll
My
definitely continue
stomach's
to follow
inspired.
you. And to all the listeners, thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.